back, I now have some electrical connectors so I can continue with getting the wires in the car. Initially I'm going to focus on the hazards and the indicators. This means I need to get the two LED flashers installed on this panel here. As these flasher units have nothing to mount them to this panel, I will order some Velcro. I can then Velcro them together as a pair and they can be stuck to this side of the panel. When constructing the wiring system, I want to make it as economical as possible to make the shortest runs. This saves cost in wiring and crucially the overall weight of the car. I will allocate these two relays as the left and right indicators. This hazard light switch is going to run through the relays of the indicators. It has two outputs, left and right, so they can be wired straight into these relays. The LED indicator lights on the steering wheel will also flash along with the hazard light switch. I'm going to start by making the two wires that come out of the hazard switch. That will go to the left and right trigger terminal on the relays. When the hazard switch is finally installed on the car, the power will be taken from the isolator, which is right next to it. For testing purposes, I'm just going to make a fused wire to use as the power for now. So this is my little test rig. I can easily clamp this to the positive terminal on the battery. I have an inline fuse, so if I want to test anything with a lower amperage, I can put a smaller fuse in there. Then I have an exposed spade connector, which I can easily get on a wire that I want to test. Next I'll set in place the inline fuses. That will go straight to the input on the LED flashers. Pin 30, the red wire on the indicator relays, goes straight to the top pins on the flasher unit. I have just started the earth wires, two for the flasher units, joined to the earth on the first relay, and for test purposes I will just use this as the earth, which is also connected to the second relay. Now we are getting power from the battery through the flasher units to the relays. The white wires are the switch inputs, which triggers the relays. The blue wires go to our lights, and the green wires are not used. Next I need to decide what route the wire is going to take for the power to each light. This system is divided left and right. It is not part of the main headlights, so I cannot split the system. I need to have a left and a right. This is the point where the roll cage sucks. As I cut each wire, I'm labelling them so there's no confusion. The wiring that will go to the back of the car for all of the lights I'm going to run across the passenger side. This reduces the amount of clutter in the car. I will track the new loom through this cutout and low down across the bottom of the radiator. The blue wires are the power wires. I still need to run an earth from each light to the chassis. Now I need to follow the same method on the near side. Now we have the power wires sorted that will go to the indicator lights. I need to remember to add the correct 2 wires that come from the steering wheel that will power the LED indicator lights on the wheel. Because I wrote down what colours went to which switch, I instantly know which ones I need to use. You may be wondering why on earth I'm doing this in the car. As I can currently remove everything, it's just a lot easier to have it in situ and trim everything down to length without continuously taking all the wires in and out of the car. Next, I need to attach the wires that come from the switches, both on the steering wheel and the hazard switch, to the white wires on the relays. I can use the pink and orange wires that come from the curly coil, and the 2 wires that go to the left and right relay that come from the hazard switch. Next I'm going to wire in the electric water pump. In the kit with the pump it included the wiring loom and its own relay, which I'll mount next in line on the panel. This plug goes into the wiring on the pump. The green wire goes to the switch. Unfortunately, it is not quite long enough to reach the button on the centre console. I used a similar colour wire from the old loom to extend this wire, which will reach to the switch. Next I will run the power to the headlights, the normal dip beam. I will route the power up the near side. It is a more clear run and it's away from the heat of the turbo. I can then split the power between the 2 headlights. I will continue with the headlight wiring once I've found the connectors for the near side headlight. When I originally stripped down the Peugeot, I knew I cut them off and kept them. Where I put them is another question though. Next, I will identify which wires power the number plate lights. These are the only wires I need to retain through the boot. The rest I can delete. There are only 4 wires I need to keep from this loom. The rest of the wires that run through the boot lid I can remove.